Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a really lovely Honda Civic. It's a 1.6 S Navi, so it's got the sat nav on it. Diesel car, of course, just done 44,000 miles from new. Lovely service history. I'm finishing this really fantastic grey metallic facelift model car. As you can see, they did a really good job on these facelifts. Just to point out, by the way, it's a beautiful sunny day. Unfortunately for videos, that's horrible. It means you can't see anything on the videos, so that's why it's parked in the shade. It's not to hide anything, it is quite the opposite. To go around the car for you, starting with the bonnet of the car, clean and intact, stone chipping of any great notes on there. Lights and lenses are all really good on the car. Come down the near side, passenger side, really smooth in the panels. Can't see any obvious marks there. Near side front alloy, really good actually, just the only minor mark on there. Near side rear alloy, and generally pretty good. The spokes are generally good as well. Come around the back, nice and clean. Again, you've got new style front end with the smoked glass and the little back diffuser down there. A little subtle, but it really adds up. Offside, again, lovely and smooth, really crisp in the panels. Offside rear alloy, very good indeed. The main panel work is very nice indeed. Certainly for a car that's 10 years old now, of course. I can't believe 2015 car's 10 years old, but there we go. But it's in very good condition with just the odd minor blemish. Coming to the back of the car now, really big boots on the car. And it's in beautiful condition. Not always the case with Civics because they're normally quite heavily used. This one also, by the way, comes with a space saver spare wheel as well as the inflation kit, so perhaps someone paid the extra for the wheel. So coming to the back of the car, trying to get out the glare of the sun. Again, Civics being family cars, back of the cars can be very heavily used, but this one looks like it's hardly ever been sat in the back. Front on the passenger side, again really clean. Footwell areas likewise. Passenger seat again just looks as though it's had absolutely minimal use. Finally, come to the driver's door card, again continues the theme, really nice. Same with the footwell areas. There is a set of mats for the car. I neglected to put them in, but they do come with the car and they're nice. The carpets underneath are in beautiful condition. So we're inside the car now, engine's running so the dash is illuminated, and inside I think the car, best in class interior, stunning. Sat nav, as you can see, working exactly as it should. Come on down, just been kept beautifully. Just to quickly show you there, 44,115 miles. Engine running, no warning lights on at all. And that's the view you get as a driver, absolutely stunning. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 S Navi. Car's registered WP15VFB, and mileage at the start of the road test is 44,115 miles. The reason for all of these videos, and especially this bit, the road test section, is simply just to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of the cars we're selling, they get to see that very car actually in operation. The reason we've always felt it important is purely because we know just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car only to find out it's actually got an obvious fault that shows up when you drive it, and that can be hugely frustrating. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this absolutely beautiful part of Gloucestershire, and this forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, the hope being, of course, it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you go on a drive in the car. So coming to the car, low mileage, very well looked after mechanically, and it feels it because it just feels tight as a drum, really does. Twist the key, engine starts instantly and settles to smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car actually, and temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. Honda have a reputation, and rightly so, for making the best four-cylinder engines in the world, and this is another classic example of why. They are beautifully engineered, they're tough, they're reliable, just with good regular maintenance. They've also got cam chains, there's no cam belts to have to worry about in them, but they're also just a lovely engine to use. Smooth, quiet, refined, powerful but flexible, because you can have power but narrow power bands, which I see of lots of its competitors. This pulls from relatively low revs with keenness. As you pick up, it just picks up and goes, but keeps going. So it basically means you can stay in gear without having to go row up and down the gears the whole time. It makes it much more relaxing to drive and much easier to get really good fuel economy out of the car. Engine then feeds into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch in the car, smooth, positive, bites exactly where it's meant to. And then 6-speed manual gearbox, another classic Honda gearbox, beautifully done again. It's cable operated, as most front-wheel drive cars are these days. Unfortunately, with some manufacturers, that means you end up with a kind of a lifeless, vague gear change. This feels like, even though it doesn't, the gear shifter goes straight into a gearbox underneath. It's that precise. It feels mechanical, weighty, pleasant, and engineered is about probably the best expression. It's just joyous to use, and it feels exactly as it would have done when it was new, because there's just zero wear in it. And then we move on to what I always say, it's my favourite part of any Honda Civic, and it's the chassis. Starts with the steering, which is perfection really for this type of car. It's really nicely weighted, it's got substance to it, doesn't feel over light as too many modern cars do with electric power steering, but it's the precision, accuracy that it gives, but also makes the car feel really solid on the road. You feel very secure with the car. It also, by the way, tracks absolutely dead straight without any vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. What I've always loved about the Civic, it's one of the rare cars, and there's only a couple in its class that can actually achieve this, in my opinion, of this vintage, where if you want to buy this Civic or any Civic just to get you and your family from A to B comfortably, and that's all you're worried about, it does a brilliant job. The ride is fantastic, beautifully judged. But if you're like me, and there's lots of people who want that, but they're a bit greedy, they also want it to be engaging, to be enjoyable to drive. That's where these are fantastic, because with that steering, but also the fact that when you do turn into a corner, even though it's supple, you don't get lots of wallowing motion. It's got that lovely sort of precision to the handling. It's you glide the corners, it never feels phased, but it's really engaging with you as a driver, and I love that about the car. As I said, there's only there's probably, I think that this and the Focus really, I'd say, we're on that sort of level. Others will give you a comfortable ride, but they'll feel more detached in their handling. Also, by the way, this is a horrible section of road in terms of its road surface. Absolutely no rattles or clunks on the suspension at all. Tight as a drum. And then brakes, likewise, hit the brake pedal, it's powerful, there's no pulsing from the brake pedal at all, so no vibrations coming through, so all in good order. And then finally we come inside. First and foremost, beautifully put together cars, no squeaks, no rattles, but the only thing in this video that's opinion based really is I love this interior. I think it's absolutely fantastic to behold. But it is one of these interiors that it's a bit of a Marmite interior for lots of people. You either like it or you don't, and if you don't buy the car. It's nice and simple. But for those that do like it, like me, it's not just for show. It's ergonomically genius. It really is. The most conventional part is this centre stack here, which you get similar themes in lots of cars. Beautifully done by Honda, of course. Garmin-based sat nav is a doddle to use. Climate control system pumps out ice cold air, by the way. But my favourite bit is this bit directly in front of me, this 2-tier dashboard. So the upper deck is the information you're going to look at most regularly on the move. You've got an information display panel there, so if you change your radio station or fan speed, you get a small display down here, but a bigger one comes up there. But the gauge you should look at most regularly, of course, is your speed. And there it is, all by itself, white on black digital display. It's genius, because basically I can drive the car, look ahead on the road for pedestrians, cyclists, other cars, whatever happens to be, but I can see my speed at the corner of my eye at all times without having to take my eyes off the road, and that's the genius of it. Down below that, you've got a more conventional pod, beautifully displayed, rev counter in the middle, flanked by your temperature and fuel gauges. It's brilliant, it really is. I love this interior. As I said, the point of the video is just to pick up on any obvious issues. Nothing at all. Drives absolutely beautifully.